All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode from the Daily Closer. We have our Daily Closer newsletter. You can visit that at www.thedailycloser.com, and you can also find that in the description. Today's guest is Kristen, and Kristen, correct me if I'm wrong, Pepin out of
Right.
California, out of Tahoe, Vista, California specifically, and she also serves Nevada. But I'll let her tell you a little bit about herself. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to her. You'll find her contact information and details. But Kristen, everybody, I'm going to just say this so everybody knows. I just got off a call with a Kirsten, so I'm going to say Kristen's name wrong several times, but don't judge me for it because I have a terrible memory from playing college football. Nonetheless, Kristen, if you can tell everybody how they can contact you, if they love your video and they want to send you referrals and or partner with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here today. So my name is Kristen Pepin. I serve North Lake Tahoe and Incline Village, Truckee, basically Lake Tahoe in California and Nevada. I can be reached at Kristen, Kristen, at lovelivetahoe.com. Love Live Tahoe is also my socials. My direct cell number is 203-520-8234. Yes, I'm originally from Connecticut, but I've been a transplant out in California for the last 18 plus years. And I don't see a reason to give up my number because clients will still find me 20 years later. Is this still you?
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing those details. If you love the video and you want to reach out to Kristen, make sure you check the description down below because that information will be down below. Well, let's jump in, Kristen. So every episode, we go over an agent's transaction or recent transaction or a transaction that's coming up. You have a transaction that's coming up on December 13th, and we want to dive into that transaction a little bit. The first question we ask every agent is, where exactly did the lead come from?
So this actually came through a pipeline. It was a referral through a Redfin lead, as a matter of fact. They went on to Redfin and it ended up getting transferred over to me and ended up following up on it. And yeah, I've been working with them for about 2 to 3 years now. They're first time home buyers, a young couple. They got married last year. They have a baby on the way. So even though we've been dabbling in the real estate market with them for the last 2 to 3 years looking at properties, they wanted to jump before the end of the year. So this was just a super fun, really getting to know them, what they want, and teaching them about the area.
How awesome. I want to dissect that a little bit because I think a lot of agents who will watch this will be like, man, you waited 2 to 3 years to even get this deal done. I can't believe you waited that long. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the real estate business, and Chris and I were talking about this just before the call, is it used to be transactional before C19, we'll call it that. But now with everything, the way the market is, you have to be more relational. And luckily you were building this relationship already for 2 to 3 years. That's really important, number one. Number two, the other thing that I find interesting about what you just said was this couple recently got married. A lot of agents in our industry focus on like divorce, probate, those type of things. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I feel like they neglect a lot of people that are first-time home buyers, number one. Number two, that are people that are recently married and or engaged. And they leave those folks, right? And there's so many of them, just as many of them we know, just as many of them getting married as there are divorces. So why would we not also focus on that? So I just want to say that. So let me ask you this. Once you got the lead in from Redfin, now you've got to take them over to your lender. What's your process in getting a lead from, hey, we're looking to get this house going or getting your buying process going, and now in order to do that, I need to get you pre-approved. What does that look like for you? Are you emailing? Are you getting on the call with the lender? Are you sending them direct to the lender? How does that look?
So with them, it was a little different. They had already been talking to lenders. We had our initial conversation and I got to know them a little bit. And I had asked them, are they currently working with a lender? Do they know of a lender? They had a friend. They were talking to them. They got a price point of what they believed that they could qualify for. And so from there, I kind of kept on talking to them, but this was year one, like this is initial. So since then, moving through the process, they traveled a lot for work. So they were out of the state a lot. They traveled all summer, just going to visit families. So my first year and a half of working with them, they weren't around all that much. So it was more of just keeping in touch. When they were in town, we'd go look at a couple of houses, really give them the lay of the land. Now, when we started originally as well, they were all about living in California. So we were only focused on the California side. Now, come about a year ago, um, they they wanted to, and this happens a lot, I find, where sometimes you start with a lender because you're getting your feet wet, and then as you move through, you're not quite sure. The lender can't get you what you're looking for. So they did start to ask me, how did I feel about other lenders? And so I have two or three preferred lenders that I really like and I love using. They're very fast. They're very efficient. We can reach them at any time of day. I have a personal relationship with both of them. So I sent their names over and I said, hey, and it never hurts to just get another opinion. And they also, with the lender they were going through, if they wanted to go and recheck in, since it had been so long, the lender was going to pull their credit again, and they didn't want their credit pulled. Well, I have another lender that doesn't have to pull your credit. So that was just kind of an easy, smooth transaction too of, hey, well, let's just talk to him, see what he can get for you. He doesn't have to pull your credit to do so. He can run some other numbers. So just having the diversity in your pocket of lenders and knowing what everybody's specialties are and how to utilize them, and then kind of opening them up to the clients. So they ended up there, and then they ended up switching to Nevada altogether and said, I don't want to buy in California anymore. I want to buy in Nevada because of the tax rates and everything else, and save myself some money. So then they ended up talking to my lender and they went down that, and that's kind of where we are now.
How awesome, right? You're the second agent that we've had on that said, hey, I've got two or three lenders, and not afraid to say that, right? Because I think
No,
agents and loan officers have this, relationship. It's like a love-hate relationship for some, but if you love your lender, you might have a few of them. And as you said, some of them may have different skill sets than others, and or products that they can actually put out there, depending on if it's a first-time home buyer, VA, so forth, so on. So that's wonderful for agents to be able to hear. Like, don't feel like you have to just, don't get me wrong, you do have a lender that you love and you probably like hanging out with or whatever have you. But you can have a few of those, just like having a few friends. It's the same thing. It's just who can do the best for your client. And that's really great to hear.
absolutely. And I also want to make sure that they're trusted and that they can get the job done. I mean, I've had friends reach out to, and this is a learning process for all agents. I've had people that I really liked, and I sent clients to them, and the lender never got back to them. So, I mean, unfortunately, communication is key. And if you can't get back to my clients, then I'm not going to necessarily use you anymore. So the ones that have jumped on board and we've closed early, or they've pulled some strings and got my clients in, I mean, you find some diamonds and you keep them.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Here we are. We've got this lead that came in from Redfin, which is a referral over to you. You've got them over to your lender. Now you're in the process of looking at homes. What I want to go back a couple of steps and talk about is how did you, one of the problems, I think one of the major problems that plagues our industry and real estate agents is follow up, right? You've had this person with you for this long and now they're buying. What did your follow up look like for them? Are you texting them every once in a while? Are you dripping them emails? What does that look like for you in order to get them all the way this far in order to be closing in the next 10 days?
So for me, a lot of it is just occasionally, I mean, you have to talk to the clients too. You have to know how much they want to be touched. Some clients need constant attention. Some clients, like these, I knew they were traveling for a couple months. I'd let them go. I'd reach out, hey, how are you guys doing? So I'd check in probably, I don't know, every couple months, or every month until they really got serious. And then once they got serious, then we're reaching out constantly. But the whole time too, I have them on more of a drip campaign where every time a listing came in within their price range and hit their criteria, it was immediately sending out to them. So then I would see that those were going out, and then I would follow up with a quick email, or I would be doing a search and say, hey, I saw these this morning. I just want your thoughts. And I also love when I start with clients as well, I tell them, I'm going to send you properties and not all of them are going to be the right fit, but I just want your feedback because it's me getting to know you and what you actually like. So as your criteria changes, you need to keep me up to date because otherwise I'm never going to be able to find a house for you if you don't tell me what you like. So it's really a lot of that going back and forth. And then just I'll look at things and say, hey, what do you think about this? Like more so the area, or what do you think about the dynamic in the layout? And then from there, it makes it easier. So I keep them on a dry erase board is one of the big things. And you got to look at that daily and go through your MLS and see what fits for someone. And then if they trigger something, then you reach out to them. Or if you're walking on the beach and you just think of them, hey, how are you doing? Where are you guys at right now? It's small little touches. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but you do have to have a system so that you don't lose them.
I love the personal touch part of it, right? Because I think a lot of agents, they think I've done lead generation since I've gotten to real estate. I actually did that before I became a real estate agent. And a lot of real estate agents have like this magical thought that leads are just going to be on this drip campaign and you never have to worry about until they want to reach out to you. And that's not how it works, right? You got to build that rapport first, like you did. And even if it's an online lead, then say, hey, I want to make sure we establish a great relationship and I understand what you want, how often that you want to be contacted and how you want to be contacted. And then I want to let you know, I'm just going to check in with you every once in a while to see if you like these properties or if we're going the right direction. Because what I don't want to do is send you information that doesn't fit exactly what you're looking for, because then I'm wasting your time, wasting my time, and we're not going to get to your end goal. So I love the way that you did that, because a lot of agents will say, hey, I want to generate leads for $1 or $3 and I'm going to give you $300 and I want 100 leads, or I want whatever number of leads. Like, well, if you don't have, like you just said, Kristen, a process in place, you don't have them on a whiteboard, you don't know exactly how hot or cold they are and what direction they're going, what's the point of generating any contacts to put into your database, right? So I love the fact that you added that personal touch as well, thinking about them. Like if you're on the beach or you're out to dinner or whatever, you just want to check in to say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you, make sure you know that I'm here for you if you need me. So that's great. Okay, so here we are. We're December the 4th, so technically 9 days before the closing. Are they getting cold feet? Are they excited? What does that look like at this point in time?
So we are very excited. So this has been, when we did start writing offers, they got very serious in the last couple months. And Tahoe is extremely cyclical. So you have a lot of properties that come on spring, early summer. They come in at a higher price and then they're on all summer. And then you'll see a slowdown in the fall because we are definitely a secondary home market for the majority of it. Things will slow down in the fall. Then you'll see a pop around the holidays. We are still in a very seller driven market right now. Everything under 2 million in Incline Village where they were looking has gone multiple offer over ask in less than 24 hours. So it has been very tedious. I made sure to send them the paperwork. And so when they are the clients that, and this is what I love about them, they are very cautious. They want to read every single document. They want to understand every single step. They want to know what's going to happen moving forward. So knowing that we have to, when we put in an offer, they have to be ready. Like I can't wait 24 to 48 hours for a signature. So it was also getting them prepped and sending them all of the paperwork in advance and saying, hey, I really want you to look this over. This is what you're going to be signing. This is what a draft is going to look like, and getting them familiar with the paperwork. We put in multiple offers. I believe we were at least 3 offers in that we lost out to other clients. Some of them are not other clients, but other people. And it's a lot of talking to them too, because they didn't understand, does every seller just want more money? Does every seller want this? And we dealt with some investment sellers that, yes, the only thing they cared about was the bottom line. And then you find a personal person that they care about the person and not necessarily the price point and where we have to be. So we got really lucky with this one. We had been through it a couple of times. They knew what they were signing. They knew what the process was going to be. And this property, we submitted an offer We got in right away. I know the other listing agent, and he liked my clients, and we just made it happen. So we really got lucky. So another part is really knowing the other agents out there and having a relationship with them and having a rapport with them. Um, because sometimes, yeah, you can be the first one on, but if you're too slow, then we could have lost out to multiple offers again. But the agent wanted to do best by their seller. I wanted to do best by my buyers. We came in a little bit over asking just to tell them that we had skin in the game and we were serious. And they didn't bother to wait for any other offers. They did take us. So
Yeah, that's exciting. I remember the feeling you get whenever you buy a house, and on the other side, whenever you're the agents representing your buyers.
yeah, it's so exciting. So, and as far as your question, going back to that, we are actually trying to move up close of escrow.
Okay.
We have done all the inspections. Yeah, they're excited. We set the date. We're supposed to be December 13th to close. They're actually leaving to go see family for the holidays on December 18th. We've gotten all our inspections done quickly. We got our request for repairs in. That's been settled. Today, our lender, I reached out to him and said, "Where are we?" And he said, "I'm good to go. They're fully pre approved. I will need 3 days once you tell me to jump." The appraisal came back and appraised. So we remove all contingencies today. We're going to get the
Hey,
lender on board and see if we could possibly move up close of escrow to either Friday or Monday.
hey, how about that? That'll be an awesome Christmas present to get an early closing done for everyone.
Absolutely. I love doing that for my clients. I had another closing that we literally expedited it and did a 10-day close because I wanted her into the home for her birthday. And it was going to be the 3 days after close. So there are things that you can do, and you just listen to your clients and you just try to do the best for them that you can.
Hey, fantastic. This is great. I think there's so much that hopefully agents, that even experienced agents, can gather from this, right? Like these relationships that we're trying to build and cultivate, not just with our buyers, but with each party within the transaction, right? Because each party is important to getting the deal done. Because if you don't have the seller on your side, you don't have the listing agent on your side, it's just a battle the entire way. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so it's fantastic that you've figured out, specifically this transaction, it sounds like the last transaction, to get things done by being probably very diplomatic, but also getting your client what they need and the seller getting what they need. So that's great. Congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I've worked with difficult agents. I've worked with difficult buyers. It's tough. I mean, I've spent days in tears. I had a client that stressed me out so badly I broke out into hives. These are truths. These are
Yeah.
realities. I mean, this just happens to be a really beautiful story, and I'm so grateful to be able to represent them. And I've had a lot of amazing interactions, but not all are awesome. So
This is true. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Well, this will be a good Christmas present for you as well, to have an awesome story to end the year. Maybe you'll get another one. Hopefully, you'll get another one before the end of the year. Well, listen, I think that agents who come to watch this, that will watch this video, will be able to gather a lot from this. Right? It's about perseverance. It's about sticking with your clients, about understanding what they want, leading them in the right direction to get what they want, as well as working with the people that you want to work with in order to get this whole thing moved and done. So I want to thank you for your time. Everybody, again, if you want to reach out to Kristen, her contact details will be down below. Feel free to reach out to her if you want to buy an investment property over in Tahoe. She's going to be the lady to reach out to. Obviously, she knows the market. Kristen Engel, closing statements for agents that watch this video, if they come on and swing by. Any tips you want to give them?
Yes. One last little tip is that you never know where that referral is going to come from. So if you happen to be out and someone does something nice for you, lets you in. I had a client, I went over to show their house when it wasn't even on market. I sent them a small gift, just a little gift card and a thank you card. And they have returned, and I didn't even follow up after that. I just sent them a thank you card. I stayed in their memory. They have sent me clients as of this time. So you never know. Take the minute to just send a little $25 Amazon card. Thank you so much for helping me. Thank you for doing this. even to other agents. Write a thank you card to other agents. Hey, I really appreciate such a smooth transaction. I look forward to working with you again in the future. It doesn't have to be something huge. Even your neighbors, like go help them take out the trash one day or whatever. It's really small gestures, but I would say that small little thank you note cards and a small gift card that I've given to people have turned around and given me the most referral business. And it was so unexpected. So don't miss out on those opportunities. If you think about doing something, actually execute on it and do it.
I love it. Action drives business, right? Action drives business. Action drives conversations which lead to business. Well, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this call, this daily closer call. Again, if you want to subscribe to the newsletter to get almost daily videos like this from awesome agents, which hopefully I always forget which direction my camera is facing, but awesome agents like Kristen, please go to www.thedailycloser.com. We're growing pretty fast. I think at the last we checked, we're almost 300 to 500 agents per month. So go visit thedailycloser.com, join that, and we'll send more videos like this. Kristen, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the
Thank
weather.
you.
Enjoy the winter. If you're a skier and your family skiing, enjoy that and be safe. And hopefully catch you on another call on another closing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I have a wonderful day. Happy holidays to you. And thank you for inviting me on.
Absolutely. Hey, it's Joseph Gonzalez. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you like the video, number one, but also subscribe to catch other videos just like this one. And if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, make sure you check the link in the description down below, and that'll get you subscribed to the newsletter so you never miss any of these awesome stories from agents across the United States, Canada, and other places across the world as they share their closing stories. We'll see you in the next video.